Welcome to episode 591 of the Barcelona podcast, brought to you by the Blue Wire Podcast Network. I'm Dan Hilton, and yes, this match was yesterday, and it already feels like old news. I know that. And of course, that will affect the amount of listeners I get and the view count and all that stuff. But you also know that, yes, I am a completionist, and I felt like there were some things to mention about this match, and I want to make sure that we talk about each and every match of the season. So, thanks to my Patreons, as always, for making this all possible, and thanks to everybody for subscribing and following along. Maybe we can make it quick. I don't know, you know me. Maybe I won't. The 5 headlines from Barcelona's 3-0 win over Rayo Vallecano. Headline 1 is Lamine Yamal's playground. It was a good job by Barcelona to keep Rayo in their own third as the game started, and that was a good sign that they came out with a little bit of energy, not even necessarily urgency, but at least wanting to be on the front foot to start this match at home, and I felt like the crowd was actually pretty up to it, and it was a good crowd on the day. And it helped that Barcelona did score within 2 minutes of the match beginning. And it was a good goal, though, as well. It wasn't just some kind of fluky, oh, the other team's not ready yet. No, Inigo Martinez stepped in after Roberto lost the ball, goes over to Koundé, who went wide for Lamine Yamal, and then Lamine Yamal and Lewandowski did the rest here. Too easy for the 16-year-old to get over to his left foot on the cut inside, misplay on the cleared header by Rayo, and there was Lewandowski to chest it down and smash it home on the doorstep with very little resistance. Yes, he still had to focus up and get it there, but it is the kind of distance that I would expect from Lewandowski, and chesting it down on his foot is something that seems like it wouldn't be routine for the rest of us, but it's probably pretty routine for Lewandowski. And I say Lamine Yamal's playground because Espino had absolutely no answer for Lamine Yamal throughout the match. The 32-year-old Uruguayan, of course, was already giving up a little bit of pace, but he kept getting beat and not turning his hips quick enough, and Lamine Yamal just kept cutting in on him over and over again. Or Lamine Yamal would get to the touchline, and Espino didn't have the breakaway speed to close down that. And yeah, Lamine Yamal, just a magician yesterday, as always. And it also pinned Rayo Vallecano back quite a bit that Lamine Yamal was feasting so much on Espino, because Alvaro Garcia and Isi Palathon, who are the players who play on that left side of what was a 4-1-4-1, I guess, yesterday for Rayo Vallecano. They want to get forward, out on the counter especially, and overload numerically that left side for Rayo Vallecano's attack, but they couldn't do that because they had to help Espino. That one of them had to drop in a little bit deeper, and that did allow Barcelona to pin Rayo Vallecano back closer to their own goal because Espino needed so much help with Lamine Yamal. Headline 2 is Rayo's Revolt. Now, Rayo did have their chances, though. They did get out, and they even had more shots in this game than the fabled FC Barcelona, even though Barca had more shots on target. 6 minute, Barca got a bit leaky. Inigo Martinez and Roberto combined to give it away and give Rayo a long shot that Ter Stegen had to save. And I will mention in this match in totality, Inigo Martinez and Sergio Roberto did feel like what they are in this squad and what they would be if they were around next season, which Roberto likely will be. Inigo Martinez, who knows yet, but they are rotation pieces. They are, in theory, Inigo Martinez is the 5th center back option, I guess, next season, or maybe the 4th, who knows. And Roberto is the 5th or 6th midfield option next season if Guido Rodriguez is on his way and the rest of the other midfielders get healthy and stay healthy. 10th minute, Lamine Yamal gave it away after a corner kick and earned the yellow for the professional foul on Cameo. So making a silver lining out of that, Lamine Yamal, professional foul. Kid knows what he's doing even at 16. Rayo's early opportunities, though, did come from long balls forward off Barca's set pieces. Rafinha and Lamine Yamal were both the last men at different moments in that match, so that obviously is a bit concerning to those set-piece setups. And then on to the 25th minute, Lamine Yamal and Koundé working together. The good underlapping run from the Frenchman gave Lamine Yamal the room to shoot. Just a bit high there, but still percolating. 29th minute, Lewandowski was blocked on a shot in transition after a transition opportunity from Rayo. Fermin Lopez took it away, won the tackle. Rafinha backheeled Lewandowski into space. Good skill by Rafinha, but Lewandowski was blocked as he went to take it on his right. Probably should have been a finish for Lewandowski. That would have been a second goal for him, but he already got his one goal in this game. I don't know. 32nd minute, Rayo were forced to have their keeper, Dimitrievski, to make a save at his near post off a corner kick for Barca. Good set-piece stuff continuing for Barcelona all season, 17 in total. They didn't go one from this match, but still, offensively, they've been so good there, and a credit again to that whole coaching staff, but in particular, Sergio Alegre, who is focused on that in training. Halftime criticism came on for Roberto. Roberto did take a pretty nasty tackle there in the first half, so I think this was more about him picking up a knock more than him playing poorly. I thought he was worse against Almeria midweek than he was today. He was fine, but did have those little moments. 55th minute, good run by Cancelo up the middle, and Barca took the game at their pace for a little bit there, especially pushing Cancelo up as an interior, moving it quickly, side to side, but a few attacks and dying with the inevitable cross that I don't think Xavi loved too much. They kept cutting them on the sideline. He was not too happy when he would see those inevitable crosses go out for a goal kick for Rayo. Though I will say Rayo also kept answering quickly in transition at that point when the game was still 1-0. They kept coming the other way, and Ter Stegen was good enough on the day to keep that one a clean sheet. Then in the 59th minute, Fermin Lopez forced a save from Dimievski. Fermin Lopez, he didn't do what he did against Almeria, but he still looked like a starter for another team in Rayo who is facing relegation, but because of the results going the way they did, Cadiz got relegated and Rayo Vallecano was safe by the end of this game. Headline 3 is brace for Pedri. 62nd minute, Araujo, João Felix, and Pedri on for Cubarsí, Rafinha, and Fermin Lopez, and Rayo also brought their subs on. So at this point in the game, still 1-0. Things could have happened in either direction. Barcelona could have gotten their second, or Rayo could have potentially gotten a first. And fortunately, 72nd minute, and it goes Barca's way. Pedri does get that second goal, but João Felix gets all the hugs from his teammates. What skill from João Felix here. A nutmeg, a drag back. Is there another player who is that good about 14% of the time in all of world football? And I didn't just pick that percentage of 14% out of thin air. He has been involved in about 14% of the goals in all competitions this season and about 12% of all goals in the Liga this year. And he really only showcases his best when he's either assisting or scoring and being a part of goal participation. So I do say, legitimately, 14% of the time, João Felix has been good for Barcelona this season. But that 14% was awful fun to watch and will keep popping up from the season's highlights. So what Barcelona want to do with that 14% and João Mendes and him on loan again, I have no idea because they still haven't figured out who the coach is going to be even in a month's time. So I think João Felix is one of the things that's next on the docket, but they have other bigger fish to fry first, that being Laporta and the board. 75th minute, 3-0, the brace from Pedri, a player that I expect to be around at least next season. Rayo were buzzing in Barca's end, but all of a sudden, Araujo put it in behind, and Pedri making the run straight into the half space between the center back and the left back. And Pedri also held off the defender well, finished strongly. Good job by Pedri here to show that physicality, to make that run from midfield. And it would be great if Pedri could just come on in the 60th minute or so of matches and be that sub guy if Gabi is a starter next season. But now you feel like, well, Pedri's probably missing minutes and opportunities, but at least for this moment, keep him healthy for like another 90 minutes Barcelona to end this season, and hopefully he stays healthy with Spain this summer as well. Somebody I haven't mentioned at all in this match was Gundogan, and he was sneaky good in this match. He really, when I say Barcelona on the front foot and kind of took the game at their pace, that was Gundogan's doing for so much of this. Yeah, again, Roberto was supportive, and Fermin Lopez was getting forward and helping out and creating numerical overloads right outside that box and making it difficult for Rayo to get out of their own end because they did have to worry about tracking those runs in the middle from Fermin Lopez, but Gundogan was also kind of everywhere in this match. He had 106 touches. He was 89 of 91 on his passes, so missed just 2 on the day, 98% passing accuracy, 8 of 8 on his long balls, 2 crosses, 5 passes in the final third. He was not dispossessed a single time in the match, 2 for 2 on the dribbles he had going forward. He had a block, 6 ball recoveries, won 5 of his 6 duels, won a foul, and did not commit a single foul. That is about as perfect a performance numerically as I have seen in a while. So Gundogan, I didn't see much chatter about him after that match, but he was actually sensational when you look at the overview of the 3-0 win, and a big reason why Barcelona controlled this match. Headline 4, Vitor Roque cameo. 79th minute, Vitor Roque on for Lewandowski. Again, we're seeing this sub, which is what it should be. The young up-and-coming, hopefully number 9 for Barcelona for the many years ahead, coming in for Lewandowski, who is 36 years old, going to turn 37 in the coming months. He had a good run, that did Vitor Roque, shading out to the left and coming inside onto his right foot with a shot that got blocked. And by that point, Barcelona were playing in a 3-4-3, really committing to that. Barcelona also very much controlling the match at that point, and a ton of players were pushing forward high, including Pedri and Koundé. Lamine Yamal at that point was also walking around, and that was totally fine for me. I can't believe he's still playing all these minutes and matches. I know I kind of have to say that every match now, but there is just one more match this season. But with this, Lamine Yamal has also played now in his 50th match for Barcelona, and he becomes the youngest player in club's history to do so. If he stays healthy and has a wonderful, long, and fruitful career, then yes, all of these records will be great. But him being the first U18 player to play 50 matches for the club, and so we're going back to Paulinho Alcantara and the other names I've mentioned to you in the past from the 20s and the 30s and the 50s and all that history of the club, that he's the youngest to play 50 matches for the club as a U18 player. Kind of concerning, of course, but hopefully he just stays healthy and he can be the exception instead of become another player in the list of Ansu Fati and Balde and Pedri and Gabi, and you know how many times we've had to do this. Cancelo at that point in the match as well, playing as an interior almost in totality for the last 5 minutes plus and stoppage time, and I think that was very much on purpose. Hey, you're up 3-0. Let's continue to push, have some fun, give the fans something to celebrate. Vitor Roque had a heavy first touch in stoppage time that led to a giveaway in midfield, but credit to him, he showed that, hey, I want this. His work rate took him all the way back to Barcelona's own goal line, where he helped get the ball back. So that was good to see from Vitor Roque, that he understood the heavy first touch, because I think Barcelona was certainly off to the races if it was a better touch. So it winds up being what I would expect, a player that is out of form and has had to hear a lot of different stuff in the media. It was an up and down little 15-minute cameo from Vitor Roque, which is to be expected. And with the victory, it means, yay, Barcelona, second place in the league, Spanish Super Cup. And I say that a little bit of yay. But, hey, it was a marker they had to hit. It was a desperate Barcelona need to get at least second here in the campaign. It was not a successful campaign. And I will talk about the big picture stuff and the season, of course, when it's over. After the last match of the season next weekend against Sevilla. But, yeah, big picture stuff, we'll get on to that. Because Headline 5 is a big week ahead. And I say that as a question mark, because maybe, maybe not. Gerard Romero, if you want to believe him or not, that's fine, because he was pretty declarative with this, that Juan Laporta would like Hansi Flick or Thomas Tuchel, Rafa Yuste would like Xavi to continue, and Deco would like either Rafa Marquez or Thiago Motta to become the manager. And when you get a comment like that, that is just so black and white with names being linked to other names, it's never that easy. You know that. All of those men are either on the table, maybe some of them aren't on the table. Clearly the club is trying to figure something out behind the scenes, and I think, unfortunately, we'll likely get more information in the coming weeks. Again, for better or worse, and all that drama, it's a bit frustrating. But I would say that Laporta, who does get final say in this as the president, I think he's very much open to all those ideas, that Xavi could continue, that there's Rafa Marquez as an option, Thiago Motta would be an option. Again, Thiago Motta played for Barcelona while Laporta was president, so they do know each other. Hansi Flick and Thomas Tuchel, we've heard that Laporta was interested in bringing in a German manager for many months now, so you know that their camps have been in contact, likely with those two men and their agent. So I do think all of those names are on the table, and certain figures in suits do favor some over others, but to be so definitive of who backs who and all that stuff, I'm not sure about this. I think there might be some doubt with Xavi and some frustration and things behind the scenes that we're not privy to that, again, I think more will come out in the coming week. So it could be a huge week, as that might come to a head, or we might have to wait a week on that. But I do think what that means, what won't be a big week ahead, is any of the transfer buzz and making any headway. I think with all the drama going on behind the scenes of the manager search, it would be great if next season's manager, whether it's Xavi or not, were aligned with the transfer signings. That would be really helpful. But I do feel that that may not necessarily happen. Which is why, if you follow on YouTube, the YouTube Shorts this week, as I've been doing the La Masia profiles and did the transfer targets in the YouTube Shorts, those 60-second profiles. And this week is all about the young prospects for the Barça Femenines team, who have plied their trade in the Barça Femini B team and have made their way up to the first team and made some appearances there throughout the season. So those are the YouTube Shorts this week, because the focus is really shifting this week now. Yes, there's still Sevilla for the men's first team, but this week we're shifting our focus in what is a big week ahead for certainly the Barça Femini. They won the Copa del Rey over the weekend, 8-0, absolutely dominated Real Sociedad in what I feel like, yes, the competition not as great, but should be, for confidence sake, a good tune-up for the Champions League final on Saturday against Lyon. And a win over Lyon, which is the one team that the Barça Femini have not yet won, that is a match that I'm hoping to preview on a podcast midweek with a guest. And we're going to get all into the nitty-gritty because, yes, the Barça Femini are playing in the Champions League final this weekend. And they're doing it against the only team that they have yet to conquer in the Champions League in this run of dominance they've had in Lyon. So that's something to look forward to. That is something to be excited about. And of course, my Patreons, they're the ones that help me stay excited each and every day. So thank you to the Patreons. You can also follow along on Twitter, Instagram, close Facebook group, Discord. You know where to find me. Of course, a good rating on the podcast apps and subscribing to the YouTube channel, a big help as well. Most importantly, though, thanks so much, even 24 hours later, for listening to the show. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon, and Forza Barca.